The movie, based on real events, is about firefighters, real gladiators, fighting not with wild animals, but with the furious elements. At the beginning of the movie, we are shown that Eric Marsh, an experienced firefighter, dreams of a forest engulfed in flames. He is awakened by a phone call. It's time to go to work. Somewhere near Phoenix, the capital of Arizona, a fire is raging, destroying acre after acre. A giant column of smoke is already rising on the horizon. Helicopters are attacking the fire from the air, taking water even from local resident swimming pools. Although they are deprived of cool water for summer recreation, they are not outraged. When a home is on the brink of destruction, the loss of a pool seems like a small thing. The fire moves toward Prescott's residential neighborhoods, causing people to panic and load anything they can get their hands on into their cars. Meanwhile, Brandon McDonough shows up in the story. His ex-girlfriend informs him that she is expecting a child with him, but instead of getting his way, Brandon continues to do stupid things. He ends up in handcuffs after trying to steal a navigator from his car. The cops aren't even angry. They are shocked by such a failed attempt to get rich. But fate gives him a second chance. Marsh, who just needs fighters, decides to take a risk and takes him into the team. Of course, you can't get into the squad just like that. First there are tests. Brandon, though he lags behind everyone in training, does not give up, which deserves the respect of the commander. He's nicknamed Bagel for his clumsiness. They had no time to catch their breath after the exercises, as came the test. A new fire, a new threat, a new chance to prove that they are worthy of the title of specialists. Successful elimination of this fire will be their final exam, which means there is no time to relax. The squad is being transported by helicopter. The turbulence in the air adds to the excitement of the moment. Some are cheering, and some are simply enjoying the spectacle of the raging fire. Marsh casts an appraising glance at Brandon. The newcomer is holding his own.
My besometing good will come out of the bagel.
The mission is clear: stop the fire before it destroys everything in its path. Firefighters lay lines, dig trenches, fell trees. But even among those accustomed to risking their lives, there are bureaucrats. The certifying observer thinks he's in charge and objects to Marsh's decision to light a counterfire. But Marsh is not one to dance to the tune of others. Here he is in charge of command and consequences, so he does things his own way. The night on the hill passes in the company of the fiery landscape.
In the morning the fichters walk on the scorched earth, where evating remains of the power of the elements. Ashes, embers, charred remains of animals.
Suddenly one of the blackened trees falls, and Brandon pulls his gaping partner away at the last moment.
On the way back, the conversations continue.
Brandon has lost his helmet strap somewhere and his comrades decide to help him, but in their own way, they glue the helmet to his head. Later it turns out that the strap was stolen by one of the fighters, as a joke of course. But the fact that everyone is laughing says one thing: Brandon has become one of their own. Marsh returns to the base agitated. He worries that his run-in with the Watcher may cost the squad their license. Several hours pass in tense anticipation until Steinbring arrives. He delivers the long-awaited news: they've been certified. They are now full-fledged professionals, elite firefighters, firefighters on the front lines. After certification, Brandon heads off to meet his ex-girlfriend. He wants her to see that he has changed. He takes his daughter in his arms for the first time. Small, warm, real is his main motivation. The team throws a party where they bring their families.
Brandon notices Mac sitting in the corner with no mood.
Turns out his girlfriend cheated on him and he left her house. Now he has nowhere to live. Brandon offers to help him. He has a spare room. 9 months pass. Mac is still staying with Brandon, and they look after his daughter together. The posse is sent to the north of the Grand Canyon. There they are met by a real monster, a huge fire that is not to be trifled with. During the extinguishing, Brandon again finds himself in the center of events. He stumbles, falls, almost gets seriously injured, but Marsh manages to pull him away. In the evening, the team sits on the edge of the canyon and watches the flames die down. They made it through. As they walk through the park, something causes everyone to freeze.
A column of smoke slowly rises on the horizon.
The woods around Prescott were ablaze as if nature itself had put on an extravaganza, forgetting that the spectators were not volunteers. Firefighters from all over the country rushed to the rescue. Local firefighters first rushed to protect a living relic, a long-lived tree that is more than 2,000 years old. the firefighters safely coped with the task. As befits true heroes, the firefighters celebrated their success with a photo shoot, gathering in a pyramid against the backdrop of the saved tree. And then fate decided that this mission was too easy for them. Brandon, known on the team as Bagel, was bitten by a rattlesnake. The next day, Bagel was visited by his co-workers. After Brandon was discharged, they went to a club to celebrate. But the fun was quickly replaced by serious conversation. Brandon decided to leave the elite squad and join a regular fire department. He wanted to work shifts and spend more time with his daughter. Eric Marsh took it as a personal betrayal. After all, he gave him a chance and he decided to leave. The tense conversation turned into an argument. Later at home, Marsh shared his fears with his wife, if Brandon couldn't take it anymore and started using illegal substances again. That evening, to ease his anxiety, Marsh visited his old friend, the fire chief. He listened to the story of the burning bear that had once caught Marsh's attention and still haunted him in nightmares. By morning, the alarms had to be set aside. Yarnell was blazing. Lightning had struck a dry tree, but by the time the squad arrived it was clear that the fire was serious and could not be tamed. Black smoke was already billowing in the sky, suggesting that this fire was not just another test, but a true test of survival. The sky above the blazing Yarnell bursts with the roar of planes as a refueling plane flies over the heads of the firefighters. The water volley puts out some of the fire, but it also ruins the plan. Now the squad must move the line of defense higher, to the next hill. At this time Brandon, who is acting as a sentry, moves closer to the warehouse in the car of a colleague from another squad. His job is to keep an eye on the fire and the weather, but all this science falls apart in an instant. The wind changes dramatically, and a wall of fire rolls towards him with frightening speed. There's nowhere to hide, so all he can do is run. When he already feels the heat on his back, the same colleague appears on the horizon. The car slows down, Brandon literally flies inside, and they rush away from the fire trap. Meanwhile, the Granite Mountain squad is retreating, but the situation is getting worse by the minute. The fire is spreading unevenly, and houses are already burning in the town. Marsh assesses the situation and makes a difficult decision, to put a new frontier on the ranch, where they can take shelter as a last resort. The squad moves down, but the wind is playing its game again.
The flames leap to at control point and carry on.
The fire has almost cut off the area, and Marsh realizes they can't survive. Returning to the safe scorched zone is also impossible. The only thing left is to prepare shelter on the spot. The firefighters clear as much space as they can while Marsh tries to call in air support. Brandon is in town listening to radio conversations, clenching his fists with helplessness. As the wall of flames approaches, Marsh gives one last command: take cover. The 19 men scramble into fireproof bags and lie down on the ground. The fire surrounds them on all sides, leaving them no chance. A helicopter appears over Yarnell. The pilot addresses Granite Mountain.
Sie längste Falls.
No one responds. A burning bear, the same one from Marsh's nightmares, runs in the background of the fire. A helicopter with medics hovers over the scorched earth. One of the rescuers notices something. He runs across the smoking ground to where the firefighters were. He sees bags lying motionless. The bodies are taken to the Prescott schoolhouse. Here, families, relatives, and friends gather. When it is reported that 19 people died and 1 survived, hope flares in every heart. Suddenly, Brandon appears in the doorway. The room comes to a standstill. All eyes are on him. He steps out, his knees buckling. His throat constricts with guilt. He falls to the floor and sobs, unable to bear the weight of what has happened. Marsh's wife comes over to support him. 3 years pass. Brandon takes his daughter to the very tree they once saved. Now a memorial stands there. The names of those who gave their lives in the fire. Those who were his family. Their feats will live on forever. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and give the channel a like.
See you soon.